Dr. Pornthip had agreed to carry out the second autopsy, and she had also told us that she would arrive in Malaysia on February 2013 in order to carry out the second autopsy. Much to our surprise, the day before yesterday, we were told that Dr. Pornthip is not prepared any longer to carry out the second autopsy for personal reasons. Yesterday, we received information of a very startling, disturbing nature, which not only impacts upon the case of Sukumar, it impacts upon the honesty and the running of the federal government itself, and it impacts upon the credibility and the character of those who are in the highest level of our government. As I said, a shocking, startling and disturbing piece of information that we received. And now, I will read this from a press release which I will distribute to you shortly. As I said, Dr. Pornthip had earlier confirmed that she would perform the second autopsy and would arrive in Malaysia on February 20 for the purpose. We have now been informed that Prime Minister Najib Tun Razak had communicated with the Prime Minister of Thailand regarding the second autopsy on Sukumar. As a result of the communication, the Thai government decided that Dr. Pornthip should not perform the second autopsy in order not to undermine the relationship between the two countries. I'm going to repeat this, We have been informed that Prime Minister Najib Tun Razak had communicated with the Prime Minister of Thailand regarding the second autopsy on Sukumar. As a result of the communication, the Thai government decided that Dr. Pornthip should not perform the second autopsy in order not to undermine the relationship between the two countries. We have been given these facts by an impeccable source, and we have complete confidence in the truth and veracity of this information. The information has been given to us in writing. This was the reason for Dr. Pornthip's withdrawal from performing the second autopsy.
What Mr. Surendran has just revealed to you, I think exposes very clearly the duplicity or the deception that has been practiced by the Prime Minister on the Malaysian public and in particular the Indian community. Why do I say this? Because Prime Minister Najib put up a show of concern. I call it a show. Put up a show of concern for the investigation into Sukumar's death by making it public that he was calling for a forensic report. I'm sure you're all aware that was widely reported that a decision was made, and it was credited to him as having initiated that request, and the public, especially the Indian community, was given the impression that the Prime Minister was genuine about trying to establish the truth behind Sukumar's death. We are still waiting, of course, for the result of the contents of of that forensic report that has not been made public either by him or any of the other government officials involved. But that is the false impression that he gave to the Malaysian public, and in particular to the Indian community. So many of us were then hoping that he would pursue that and facilitate the happening of the second post-mortem. And in a way, when the Ministry of Health gave the go-ahead, it all seemed as part of that process. But now we know that he has actually intervened directly to the highest levels in Thailand, and our information confirms that it is the request of Prime Minister Najib, and he says if Dr. Pornthip comes here, that will, what's the word used, undermine the relationship between the two countries.
At this point of time, we just want to say that we have trust in this source and we have no doubt about the truth of what the source is saying.
The demands are based on what we have said today. We say now, we call upon the Prime Minister to reveal to the public the actual circumstances of Dr. Pornthip's withdrawal, and to the full extent of his and this government's involvement in that withdrawal. That's the first demand. The second demand is to correct the problem, and is that to write to the Prime Minister, to type to the Thai Prime Minister, Yingluck Shinawatra, to withdraw the earlier objections which we have full knowledge of, and to secure the services of Dr. Pornthip to come to Malaysia to complete the second post-mortem. That is the second demand.
We are not able to go into these details, those details. What we can say is that the information comes from us from an authoritative source, and we have it in writing that this is what transpired between the two Prime Ministers.